you get here? Welcome back to CWM University, and today we're going to go inside the classroom and interview real people with real experiences. Come on. Yeah, you. Come on. I said, come on. Welcome to Inside the Classroom, and on this episode, we have Tanaya, who is an elementary principal, and we're going to get her take for Inside the Classroom. Tanaya, let us know what grades you taught, how long, and what you're doing now.
I began my educational career. I started teaching fifth grade ELA. I did that for about 8 years, and then I transitioned into being an interventionist and also a testing coordinator. And just to kind of scale back, I had leadership positions as a teacher as well. And then I became an interventionist for 4 years. And then after doing that for 4 years, I entered into admin with being an assistant principal, and this is my first year now as a principal.
Okay. So, Sanaya, I want to know, why did you become an educator in the first place?
I became an educator first off because my mom was an educator, and I also have aunts that have been educators. So it was just kind of what our family did. And I just growing up, I love children. I love working with children. I always said that I was going to own my own daycare one day. From there, I just started taking the classes, working with the students, volunteering my time, and I really enjoyed working with the students and then seeing them grow and learn in my classes. And I just knew it was the thing for me. So that's why I became an educator, and I love it.
How long did your mom teach?
My mom taught 26 years.
Oh, you got some
education.
years ago to catch
Yes.
up with
Yes,
that.
I do.
Okay,
Yes, I
okay.
do.
So you did education for this long. You were a teacher for very long. You went to interventionist. But how did you end up being on the path of becoming a principal?
From the beginning in my educational career, I had principals that spoke a lot of life into me. They were saying, "Oh, well, we see you as a leadership. We see you as a in leadership." So from the beginning, I started stepping into like leadership opportunities. I became spelling bee coordinator. You and I did leadership things together when we talked together. And so in every aspect of my journey, I was in some type of leadership. And so just transitioning on, moving forward, then becoming testing coordinator, being an interventionist, and stepping outside the classroom, that gave me some more leadership opportunities. And I really was able to not just see my tree, which is my classroom, but able to see the entire forest. And just seeing that and being able to say, okay, well, I can assist with this. Okay, I've served in this position before, so I can help a teacher who may struggles with classroom management, or a teacher that may struggles with meeting the needs of her tier 3 or tier 2 students. I was learning these different roles, and so as an administrator or as a principal, I could take my expertise to help other teachers, and then not only just being confined to a classroom, but helping the school overall.
I like the analogy of you was the tree, now you see the forest.
Yeah,
I like that. It makes sense. So now you can have more effect just not on students or just your fellow coworkers, but the overall school.
And then meeting with parents. I became a parent liaison just now in the interventions role. I was talking to more parents, an assistant principal talking with parents, and just giving them another outlook or support to help them with their children's journey.
So not only making a difference in the children's lives, but also the parents, which parents need support too.
Yes, definitely.
We know a little bit about your background. We're going to move into routines and procedures for your school. So how do you go over the arrival procedures, transition, and dismissal? How do you let your staff know what's expected of them so the students will know what to do?
From the beginning, when we begin our onboarding or our beginning of the year meetings, I have a policy, a procedure, and a handbook for my staff. So that was handed out at the beginning of the year, and it's also found online, just in case they lose the paper version. It's also online. And so there it states the arrival time for teachers, the arrival time for our students, where teachers are expected to be at our time. So we start working with students at 7:10. So where teachers are asked to be, their duty posts, who's on duty, what day they're on duty, what time they're on duty, what time duty is in. And so it's basically just a playbook of the day, my expectations, so that they will know and it'll never be a question. And then also every week I send out a newsletter on Sundays. And it just basically lays out the week, what's happening, what's going on, when there's meetings, what time those are meetings, if I'm going to be out, if the counselor, somebody's going to be out, they know what's going on weekly. And then I'll say they know what's going on monthly. I give them a monthly calendar, and then also I send out a daily reminder every day. So
they can't say they don't know.
There's never a time where you should not know what's going on. But like communication is important for teachers to do with their students and to do with their parents. It's also important for me to communicate with my staff, so there's never a question of what's going on or I didn't know this was happening. I want to be able to say, okay, well, here it is. You have the month laid out for you, you have the week laid out for you, and you have a daily agenda laid out for you, so you'll know if anything arrives from something that may came out on Sunday to like now it's Thursday. Oh, this popped up. You'll know that day. So the procedures and routines in the handbook for teachers, but then also just daily, weekly, and monthly reminders as well.
So okay, so you didn't know
At all.
So you can make sure communication is key
Communication is
with
definitely
your
key.
routines and procedures.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, so you said that they have a paper copy, they get it through email, but how else do you reinforce to make sure? Okay, if I see something in the hallway and this is how I expect the classes to transition the hallway, how do you correct that behavior? How do you step in when needed?
As a principal, I always try to make sure that I know correct teachers in front of the students because I want to maintain their respect and I want students to maintain their respect for their teachers.
Okay.
However, we do have PLCs where we meet weekly, and that's where I go over just like announcements or any expectations or things that I may have seen. And then also we have faculty meetings as well. And so that's the time where we talk about expectations if they're not being met. I am a strong believer in communicating that my expectations to individual teachers if need be. So if I need to, come to their room, talk with them, and it might be an instance like they're having a bad day, something is going wrong. So I never wanted to assume that, oh, you're just not doing what I expect. Let me see what's going on first. Are you having a good day? How's it going? Like, is there a problem that we need to talk about and address? And then I want to make sure first there's no outside things that might be affecting how the teacher is doing that day. And then after that, have one-on-one conversations. If that teacher is a new teacher, speaking with their mentor as well. Just some things that I would like them to talk about. We have lead teachers. If it's instructional based, I can speak to them, give them feedback. But then also our lead teachers, they're there to help and assist teachers as well. I'm always in the classrooms. I'm visible. I'm in the hallway. I have me a little desk, standing rolling desk, and I'm in the hallway just so that. And then for the students to see me as well. Like, look, you're not about to act up. So I'm here. I'm here to support your teachers as well.
So what I'm hearing is one, that you lead your school with empathy. You trying to see what's going on with the teacher before you snap out on the teacher or be like, you're not doing what I asked you to do. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Which is nice. And then it seems too that you use proximity. If the students see me, the teachers see me, then everybody gonna know like, hey, we need to make sure that we're doing what we need to do. So you make sure that you're visible, but you also try to use that empathy.
Right.
Well, it seems like maybe that you're using the experience you had as a teacher and now it's going into your principalship.
Yes, and that's just one thing that I always said. If I ever became a leader, I'll never forget being a teacher because I know how it feels to have students that don't want to act right. Like, I know how it feels to have parents that don't want to act right. I know how it feels to have new procedures in place and you're trying to learn and grow. So I never want to take what I've experienced in my own classroom, my own journey away from teachers. So I try to relate to teachers, but also saying, okay, I know what's going on, but it can be done because I've done it. So it's a way that I can connect with them, but also ensure that we're doing the best for our students. Because at the end of the day, that's why we're there, for the growth of our students.
True. So comment down below. Do you think it's important that your admin sees you, leads with empathy, but also is present for you and the students to make sure things go smoothly? Let us know in the comments. What do y'all have in place to prevent behaviors before they start or encourage the students to actually behave while they're at school?
We have an amazing behavior interventionist at our school, and she also serves as our counselor as well. And so we implement PBIS, and that's just positive behavior initiative. These are the behaviors we want to see in the hallway. These are the behaviors we want to see in the bathroom. These are the behaviors we want to see in the classroom and in the cafeteria. And it's posted outside in our hallways, in the cafeteria, in our bathrooms. So they're there. Our teachers were asked to also develop procedures and routines for their classrooms and to also enforce it as well. And then we also give out something called books, like little books.
So they school money.
Yeah, school money.
Books. Okay.
And so with that, they can receive those from any teacher, any personnel at the school. They can receive them. And so if they're caught being good or they're caught following our expectations in the hallway and stuff like that, we just pass them out every other week. Then we have like our store. And so in the store, they can buy like different kind of food, snacks, toys.
So fake money, but real prizes.
Yes.
My type of system.
Yes.
Okay.
So they can buy different things, and our counselor, she goes around and she opens the store up, and our students go in every other week to, make purchases. And some of them say, look, I'm gonna hold mine because I want to go in 4 weeks, like in the second time, and so I can get more things or get bigger things because I save my money. So we're also teaching those skills as well to save their money. When a student decides, make the decision, because I say the child makes the decision because they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Even to our youngest, we discuss our decision making and expectations. When the child decides to not act appropriately or to fulfill the expectation in the classroom, we go through a ladder of consequences. And so with that, we take it step by step, and then it gets to something where we call it an infraction. And once they get to an infraction, the teacher must call the parent and say, your child has received an infraction for this, 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 and this. Have a conversation, move on. All right. So if that child gets 3 classroom infractions within a time frame, then comes to me. And so, but with that third infraction, they're like, okay, we've got it. They call the parent still. My principal will be calling you. So when I call, I talk with the parent. I don't want you to think that, oh, they get 3 infractions. Oh, now, like, what are you doing to help it? No. After each infraction, they're talking. We're doing positive reinforcement. We're trying to change the behavior. We're talking to them about their behavior. They're either talking to their teachers or our behavior interventionists about those behaviors to try to correct behavior, change it, and teach them a new way to do it.
Until they get to the third one.
Until they get to the third
they
one.
got to you.
Yes.
It's been a lot of intervention.
It's been a lot of
before that.
interventions
Okay.
because in the infraction it asks what was the intervention. The teacher has to tell what the intervention was that was either performed for the child or if someone came and talked with them. It's not like, okay, you act up, here's your consequence. It's like, you act up, let me see the reason why you act up. Let's try to fix this behavior so that you won't make this mistake again. Now, if the child decides to still make the mistake 3 times, then that's when it comes to me.
So y'all try to see the why behind the behavior,
Yes.
which I've stressed several times on my channel, is to make sure that you're trying to figure out why the student is behaving the way they're behaving.
Right, right.
It's probably not has anything to do with the classroom or what's going on at school. It could be something outside of school.
And a lot of times we do find that it's outside influences, but then also it might just be, hey, I'm struggling with this lesson and I don't know it, so I'm gonna act up so you can't teach it and everybody else can. Or it might be, hey, I'm 2 years behind and I still don't know how to read, but yet it's somebody else beside me that knows how to read, and I don't want them to know that I'm unable to do this and I need some extra help, but I'm too embarrassed or ashamed, so therefore I'm gonna put you in your chest. Like, I mean, not that serious, but
anything to stop from being embarrassed. As an adult, I don't want to be embarrassed.
Right.
So think about it as a kid, and the kids don't have those decision making skills to be like, hey, let me just ask for help. Yeah. No, I'm about to tell your classroom up.
Yeah.
And stop this whole thing.
Right.
Stop the train.
Right.
So you talked about you're trying to teach the students step by step to deal with the behavior. You said all the way to the youngest. So what is the smallest or youngest grade that you have in your school?
We begin welcoming 4-year-olds. So my school is pre-K all the way to 5th grade. We are literally that cluster of beginning school and then preparing them for middle school right there in that one building. So we have, different things in place for our pre-K babies, but also for our students that are 10 and 11 and about to transition. Those 5th grade feelings are so different than pre-K feelings because in our littles might not understand their emotions, so trying to get them like, it's not okay to get on the floor and cry. And but then also 5th grade, it's not okay to shout at your teacher. So we're really in the mix of helping all our students to understand their emotions, but also give them tools to be successful.
At one point, these children are going to be adults, and they need to be able to manage their behavior and manage their feelings and be able to verbalize what they're feeling. Does the pre-K and the 5th grade, do they all get those 3 chances?
Yes.
Okay, so same across the board.
The younger ages, there are a lot of other things in place to better help them with those big emotions, those small people with big emotions, because again, they're 4 years old. So a lot of them, this is their first time ever being in school. Some of them didn't even go to daycare. So there's a lot of foundational things that we have to implement first before we even get to those consequences things. Some of them have to learn how to walk the line. So we just start literally from the foundation.
So moving into parents, how do you communicate with their families, let them know what's going on in your school, or if you have to call them, do you prefer to call? Do you email? How do you communicate with them?
I try to communicate with parents every way that is possible, really. We have a digital communication system that we use that if I have like announcements I need to send out, I literally can type it up and shoot it out, and it goes to every parent that is signed up. And so it can come to their email, it comes to their phone, and it comes there. Also, I'm a proponent of sending out flyers if there's something that's happening at the school, but also if a parent has a concern or a comment or want to talk with me, I come out to carpool. If they want to talk to me, will set up a meeting to talk with me, or they'll call. I just try to, be open to communicating with my parents so that it will not be a question of what's going on if they have a comment, concern. And sometimes it's just to say like, hey, my child has had a good day. Just wanted to, give you a shout out. So our school has a Facebook, also meeting with our PTO parents and developing that partnership as well, and let them know what's going on for that week or for the month or for that 9 weeks. We have those meetings as well.
So your individual school has a Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
So if they put something on Facebook, how would you know about it?
It's ran by our communications director.
Oh, okay.
But if the best way to communicate or to get in touch with me would be to call, email, or come up to the school.
Okay, so for your parents, you're pretty visible. They get to see you before. Is it before and after school are you for car duty, or when do you?
So if I need to speak with a parent, I'll ask the people that's on duty if there's a parent when they drop the child off and say, she needs to talk to you.
Okay.
So they'll come in, or I will come out and just have them pull around. We talk. If not, they can schedule an appointment with my secretary, or they can just call in.
Parent communication is very important.
Yes, it is. It's very important to me because I know as a classroom teacher how important it is to develop those relationships early with parents and develop that teamwork and collaboration with parents. At the end of the day, our parents are sending us their best. And so as a teacher, I wanted to make sure that I was building their trust, but also building their child up. So now they're entrusting me as the principal to make sure their child comes to school, and is fed, taught, and sent back home in a safe way, in an effective way. So I believe having that amount of communication with parents and that teamwork is important and to be established at the beginning so that we have a trust built amongst each other, but also knowing that, okay, you're sending me your best. I'm here to help grow this child and prepare them for middle school.
So parents are sending them the best. Comment below if you think that is a team effort with parents. Do you think it's important to communicate with parents early and go ahead and build that relationships? Because at the end of the day, they're sending their best to school. Mm-hmm. So those are the people that you should communicate with to help you make sure that the students are doing their best and being successful. So let us know what you think about parent communication in the comments. So how do you get feedback from parents or the community? Like, how do you know that you're doing a good job or that you're being the principal that they need at that school?